Hi, live from floor 3, welcome to Fortune TV. So as you can see, the festive season is fast approaching, but it's been a very busy block here at LUC. Tonight we bring you everything from program councils to pantomimes, and even one of our own first investigative reports. But don't worry, the only drag in tonight's show will be the one we covered last week. So, picking up more or less where we left off with the last show, a lot of students partook in the hitchhiking competition over the break. We caught up with them to find out more about their travels and travails on the road to Vienna.
Like, hitchhiking itself isn't the most exciting thing in the world.
Yo, are you going to Croatia by any chance? And he was like, yeah, can we join you? Yeah. And he just took us all the way to Austria, and I just like looked to my left and I saw this Hungarian guy, and then I walked up to him and I was like, are you perhaps going through Vienna? Yeah. And I was like, can we join you? And he was like, yeah.
Tell me one.
Because we had no clue what we were doing. Okay, so thanks to Lucy's signs and thanks to my kind of crappy German, we did get rides.
And he says I can sleep in the back of the van. So he like goes, oh don't worry, like I can set up a bed for you in the back of the van, you can see there, and he points to the back. We turn around, just this massive like fuck off swastika flag, like the actual Nazi one, like with the red background.
We actually had the least rides of everyone in the entire competition. It took us 4 to get to the hostel, but only 3 to get from The Hague all the way to Vienna.
This guy who basically had a whole truck full of flowers.
The stories about all the craziest
Yeah.
shit he's done when he was younger, and all the accidents he had on all different kinds of vehicles, but he never had an accident with a truck. Until he dropped us off and he crashed into another truck.
Where we saw was like Tesla, and we're like, let's just do it. So we asked the guy, and he's like, yeah, sure, I'm going to Salzburg, but I can take you. After an hour, he's like, yeah, I changed plans, so I'm taking you to Vienna. And then at one point, like, the car was charging. He asked like, can someone of you drive an automatic? Okay, then you guys, you're the next drivers. So then he actually let us drive his own car on like the German highway. So like, you could drive just as fast as you want in like Tesla, which is just so cool. But
We're out of power. I'm electric or out of power.
So we had to wait to move the car to like the next charging station.
The people we stayed at, their name was Rebecca and Jonas, and they just recently got married.
They gave us wine, snacks, they danced for us.
They danced for us.
turns out he's really spontaneous and adventurous, which you can expect from a guy that suddenly changed plans from Salzburg to Vienna. So then he kept on texting us where we were, that he was waiting at our hostel. Not that he had bad intentions, but I feel like he just didn't know what social boundaries were.
He was quite enthusiastic.
Watch the map, stay on the big motorways.
Stay on the highway.
Never go off the highway.
Always
smile. Yeah.
Like, always smile and be kind and make jokes, because people are just more likely to take you. It's not about the goal, it's more about the journey, you know? We're telling now about the guy that took us rather than about how beautiful Vienna was.
Is it about the journey or is it about the destination?
It's free.
But it's not about not paying anything.
Mostly it's free.
What?
No money.
It's about the fun, but
Actually,
then
traveling with Tom was really hard. That was the hardest part.
No, our friendship got stronger because we were hitchhiking together. I encourage anyone who wants to do it Definitely. Yeah, next year.
great success.
Join hitchhiking next year.
You meet all sorts on the road, eh? So, as many of you remember, back in the first week we had an election for the college and programme councils. Today we've actually got some of our elected representatives on the show to find out how they've been getting on today. So, of course, our social media team is on Facebook right now, so please leave a comment if you have any questions for any of our guests. Now we turn to Stella and Alberta, who've been here on the show today. Thanks for joining us, guys.
Thank you.
Now, Stara, you actually won the hitchhiking competition that we just showed, right?
Yeah.
How did you pull that one off?
A lot of my own ingenuity, a lot of luck, and yeah, a lot of charisma, I guess.
Good to hear. So I trust you bringing these skills to your post then. What do you guys do for the program and college councils?
Should I go? Okay, well basically the program council is a body of 5 student and 5 teacher representatives. And our main task is to respond from the feedback we get from the LUC community and then try to improve our program, our LUC program. So.
The college council is essentially the same, except we do everything that's not program related. So anything with the building or, well, with the college itself, any problems that might come up, and we advise the college board on any major decision or things that they might be doing.
Okay, so the plugs and the front door, is that your domain?
I think the plugs on the front door, that's the housing council, so they're dealing with that, not us.
All right, well, people can lay off you then.
Yeah.
So what do you guys hope to accomplish in your year on the respective councils?
Well, I think a big issue for us this year is getting what we do back to the people in the LUC community, because I think a big problem is that a lot of people don't know what we actually do, so that's a primary thing. And we have office hours on Wednesdays. And yeah, we've looked at the grand survey so far from last year, so what were some of the academic issues that we can fix, and also the Block 1 course evaluations.
Similarly, we've taken the grand survey as a starting point, and whatever the students have complaints about or suggestions for improvements. So yeah, mainly that. For the student representatives, our main challenge is to make the student body know who we are and know that they can approach us and talk to us about issues that they might have.
And the best way to contact you guys, is that Facebook or office hours?
Yeah, I mean, for us, we have office hours on Wednesdays, so we rotate the 5 of us. And yeah, Facebook or by email, I think we have the papers on floor 4, which give our contact information.
Okay. And have you guys experienced any challenges so far in implementing any of your goals or being on the respective councils?
I mean, we're quite new to the position, but I mean, kind of what I mentioned before is that people don't really know who we are yet. But so far, it's been a great learning experience as well with the teachers to figure out what actually our program is all about and how it functions behind the scenes.
Yeah, I think mainly the communication with students and actually hearing what students want us to do, and that's one of our biggest challenges. I want to add for the college council, there's a mailbox on the 4th floor, so anyone that has any complaints or suggestions, they can put a suggestion in there and it will be brought up by us.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us, guys.
Thank you.
So, last week LUC embraced its non-binary side and held its first ever drag contest. Naturally, Fortune TV sashayed away on down there to find out more.
I can't wait to get you.
I've been waiting for this for 3 years. Finally.
Well, I was judging for the first time ever drag race in LUC. We were asked to judge in terms of originality, fabulousness, creativity, and design, I think.
I'm Golden Sugar. I was the host of the first ever LUC drag contest. It was an incredible experience. I'm so happy so many people showed up and so many people turned out, and it's such an important cause, and yeah, thank you all for coming. Raise awareness about challenging common gender stereotypes, because there's no reason for them to exist. I think anybody should be able to dress the way they want to dress, and we wanted to challenge that.
We danced together, it was absolutely beautiful. Actually, he's a good dancer.
Yeah,
it was everything I wanted to be and so much more. And it was, yeah. Next, if you're missing this right now, you missed something. You freaking missed something. Because this was big. This is LUC history, and yeah, it was a fantastic night.
So, Josh, or Mary Jane, as you may prefer to be known as, how are you after that amazing performance?
Pretty good actually. I mean, the feedback was amazing so far. I've had a lot of people come up to me and say, well, that they either didn't recognize me or
that your legs look
that they were amazingly surprised or that they were just pretty horny actually. A lot of people touching my boobs. Yeah, a lot of people touching my boobs and my ass. Yeah, Kendra told me I got the real girl experience now, and I think she made a pretty fair point in that, so keep that in the show, please.
Petit Paulette, darling.
Sorry, and...
This generous performance. I loved it, yes.
Such a good
was it good? I got a good energy from the crowd, so thank you to the crowd.
Yeah.
Thanks for everyone, thanks to the organizers.
Yeah.
And really what did the thing I think is the makeup, so thank you Megan and Paula for helping me. 1.5 hours. This soon.
And the winner of the first drag contest at LUC, that is Ladislava!
How are you feeling, darling? You've just won the first ever LUC drag contest.
I would like to thank my mom, my dad, Laura Joel for doing this wonderful makeup,
Incredible.
Anna Rosendahl for doing this hair that people think it's a wig, and all of these things, and to all of the participants and organizers for making this happen. It was a fabulous event, flamboyant, beautiful, raw, everything you want from an event. There's beer, there's a prize, there's these wonderful people. I love you all.
Absolutely. And the fishnets.
Well, that was certainly a new experience for many of us. And of course, like any event at LUC these days, not without its own controversy. Hashtag Justice for Josh, hashtag J for J. Speaking of new though, one of the great things about LUC is that any group of people can get together and start a committee or subcommittee to get involved with student life. We'd know ourselves, Fortune TV is a little over a year old itself. But today on the show we've got some of the members of LUC's newest subcommittee, Race and Ethnicity. Joining us on the show today are Yaka, Bahumi and Baskia. Hi guys, thanks for joining us.
Hi.
So what did you guys make of another branch of LUC Diversity, the drag show?
Oh my god, I loved it, but I felt obviously very scammed that Mary Jane did not win. I started the hashtag Justice for Josh, and next time he has to do it again, he has to win, basically.
Well, you're far from alone on that front. But so you guys are here because you guys are part of Race and Ethnicity. So what motivated you guys to start this committee?
Should I go? Okay. Well, when I arrived at LUC, I was a bit concerned that there wasn't like a committee for people to talk about like race issues or sort of like to have conversation about race and like culture, because we are a diverse like university and we have international people, and just like we needed like a safe space to like talk about experiences and educate each other about our own backgrounds.
Yeah, same thing as Bahumi, sorry. We're like really diverse community and we're very lucky in that sense. So this kind of gives a safe space for us all to voice our experiences and also to hear about the experiences of other people that maybe you wouldn't have had a chance to learn about before. So yeah.
Okay. And have you guys come into contact at all with any experiences of prejudice or bigotry whilst at LUC?
Yeah, I think there's definitely, it's not obviously a huge issue. I don't think people are here like blatantly racist, but there are undertones, I think, of racism in this school.
I agree with you. Yeah. Also, I think a lot of it has to do with like communication and miseducation, because a lot of people don't know what they're talking about sometimes about cultures. For example, like I have like an African background, my mom's from Botswana, and so a lot of people don't know much about it, so they may have like stereotypical like assumptions, so when they say things they may not be aware of how like dangerous or like how painful the stuff they say is, but like it's all like you can deal with it with conversation and just discussion, I think.
And the thing is, it's not a committee that is that wants to point out all the like racist at LUC. Don't worry, but I think that it's useful to talk about these things, because racism is not just like racial biases. It's also about like, you know, white privilege, white fragility, structures in society that is also present at LUC that is useful to shed light on.
Okay, so that'll be part of your aims over this year, working with the student community.
Yeah.
Do you have any other aims, perhaps? Any other ideas?
We want to just celebrate all the cool places that we come from. A lot of us, like, I think I've never been to Botswana, I'm sure you've never been to India.
Yeah.
Like, sharing our cultures and sharing our experiences, I think that's really special and really important. So yeah, we're going to be doing a lot of celebration of...
and have like a positive light on it, not all like
yeah,
negative.
It's not
so.
all heavy and
Yeah.
Controversial. Yeah.
That
A little bit controversial though, like that's fine.
Well, I suppose it comes with the job, but I'm
Yeah.
sure it's something we can all look forward to.
Yeah.
Now, of course, you guys are having one of your first events coming up very soon, on Monday, I
Yeah.
believe,
Yeah.
which is a discussion panel on Zwarte Piet.
Yes. So on Monday, 7 o'clock in the auditorium, we will have a screening of the movie Our Colonial Hangover by Sunny Bergman, and also have a panel discussion. And in the panel, we have, among others, the dean, and she has done research on children's perception of Zwarte Piet. So I think it will be a very interesting discussion. And again, it's not to bash the tradition and tell people who celebrate it that it's racist. It's just discussing it from both sides, what the history of it is and what implication it has.
Yeah, because the only way forward is to have like both sides come and have a discussion, because you can't really have one-sided conversation, because you need to hear and listen. I think the important part is to listen to what other people have to say and not block out what they're trying to say or what they believe in.
So yeah, if you have a different opinion, please come and participate and voice that, and feel like it's a safe space for you to do that, and don't feel scared or intimidated. We kind of invite different perspectives so we can have a really in-depth and conversation about it.
Actually, because this was one of the concerns raised by some of the students, is that
Yeah.
obviously LUC in many ways leans on the liberal side, and we have a lot of
Yeah.
international students compared to maybe even Dutch or just conservative Dutch students.
Yeah.
But you guys are going to work to facilitate discussion from all sides.
I think those perspectives do exist, but they're kind of suppressed, and we're trying to kind of bring that out maybe a little bit and welcome it, so that we can actually have a proper debate rather than just all agree with each other.
Yeah.
Because that's not really gonna get
And
us anywhere.
yeah, then move forward from it and not
Exactly.
just like sit in the same position, because I feel like with the Zwarte Piet discussion, it's very repetitive each year. So we're trying to find a way to like progress and not
Okay.
just like sit in the same place.
So, and just on a final note, how can viewers get involved with the Race and Ethnicity Committee? Is there a way to contact you guys, Facebook and such?
Yeah, well, you have to like us on Facebook first of all, obviously, just send a message to any of us or to the page. And we have open meetings as one of the few diversity committees. So every Monday at 8 we meet on floor 20. So you can come even though you're not in the board to just talk about stuff and yeah.
And
chill.
it's for everybody. It's, I think, misconception. It's just for people of color.
Yeah.
It's
why
for
you-
everybody. Exactly. Jakob is in it. It's for everyone, whoever wants to get involved, and kind of, it's for everybody.
All right. Thanks for joining us, guys.
Thank you.
If you guys have any thoughts regarding anything that's been discussed, please let us know in the comments below, or if you'd rather remain anonymous, go back to Confession Bar like everyone else has been over the last few days. So coming up next, we'll be speaking to some of the creative minds behind the pantomime, and even looking into an investigative report that we've prepared ourselves regarding sea housing. But first, we have to go to our sponsors, these ad breaks, so please stay tuned. Lace and Arsenic are still selling tickets, so you better hurry down and get them before the first years snap them all up and only Confession Bear is there to hear your woes. On the topic of tickets though, this year's pantomime managed to sell out completely within 12 hours, which might just be an LUC record. To find out more about how this happened, we've brought on some members of the pantomime to the show today. We'll be speaking to Hannah, Zoe and Athena. So, welcome to the show, guys.
Thanks for having us.
So, can you tell us a bit about what you guys do for the pantomime?
I'm the producer, so I'm in charge of everything tech, finance, organizational, just basically everything that's not the pantomime itself.
Yeah, I'm artistic director, so that means I've done all the rehearsal schedules, been at all the rehearsals directing. We've all been part of the writing process, but did a lot of writing and yeah.
Just like Zoe said, I've also been involved in the writing process. I'm also stage director, so I direct like rehearsals basically. And I'm also doing props and costumes.
Okay. So for the unaware, could you guys enlighten us? What is a pantomime?
Well, a pantomime is maybe or actually is the greatest LUC tradition. We've been doing it for, I don't know how many years now? 5 years?
This is the fourth
year,
yeah,
yeah.
I believe.
And it's basically a comedic satirical play. It's based off the English version of the pantomime, and we basically make a lot of fun of LUC and just joke around. Yeah.
Now, it's been eclipsed slightly.
Oh, Athena, I don't know, does my costume look good? I don't know, does my butt look good in this costume? I don't know, you know. It has looked better. What do you think?
Hey, Phil.
Hi.
How are you?
Hello.
We're kind of in the middle of something.
Oh, that looks good. Hello there. Who are you?
Hi.
Phil, really now.
Hello. Hi.
All right, gorgeous.
Oh, fabulous. Oh, my
Oh,
God.
honey, decency, come on.
We are on a live show.
Oh, you are? Oh, my God.
And that's why LUC is PG-13.
Oh, God. Oh, what's your name, dear?
I'm Ethan.
Oh, these muscles are...
So is this what we can expect of the pantomime?
Absolutely, 6th of December.
We feel something like this.
Yes. Well, I'm lying close here, guys. Oh, I love
Right,
it.
so unlike our dearest Phil here, everything's been kept under wraps so far. Could you maybe give us any hints about the story of the pantomime?
We haven't, and we're not gonna do it. You'll see everything on this Wednesday. All we can say is that we have an amazing cast.
Thanks.
With like incredible acting skills,
Thanks.
and we've also
Dancing skills, singing
Yeah.
skills.
all kind of skills.
There's going to be some old faces there and some new faces. Yeah.
Definitely.
But we've really worked on it hard for the past 7 months, so we're really excited to show our little baby.
You comfortable, love?
Yeah, my abs are...
Sure, we're looking forward to that. So, what can we expect?
Yeah.
So
go on, darling, go on. I know it's hot in here, but just go on.
So what can we expect from the program of events for the evening?
Well, we've got a whole evening planned. So we start off with some live music. Everyone comes in, gets a drink, puts their coat away, and then the show will start. And after the show, we will have drinks, and DJs will be playing, and it's a really good chance to just talk to professors and alumni, to your friends, dance a little bit, maybe just a really extended version of the Borough, basically.
Right, yeah. Now we've been told to dress fancily. Is this tuxedo wear, or is it just a simple collar will do?
It is between the gala and, I don't know.
Just anything less than the gala.
Should
like
we just
a
take an
little bit
example
less.
from Phil?
Not this.
But you do want to look nice, especially if you didn't get a gala ticket, because then you can make the pantomime your night to get a little wacky. Yeah.
No, speaking of which, apparently even you guys have suffered some controversy regarding the tickets.
Yeah, but we shut that down very quickly. Yeah, that was just a misinformed comment, in my opinion.
And if you do want to see what getting shot down looks like, just go to LUC Confession. So, of course, you guys have mentioned it briefly already, but the most important question of the evening, will we get to see any familiar faces in the pantomime?
I mean, there may be some among us, more than you might think. But
More than you might think.
Yes. But you'll have to wait and see, really. Yeah.
Yeah, there's obviously one person now you see that the pantomime really can't get rid of. So he'll be in it again, but you'll see that next week, Wednesday.
All right, so you guys are really going to leave nothing for us. I guess we'll just have to wait until Wednesday then.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Thanks for joining us, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah. On a more serious note, today we've discussed a lot of issues which affect a lot of people throughout LUC, but coming up next we've got something that affects absolutely everybody: housing. Now, a while back there was a dispute with Sea Housing, and it's still unresolved to this day. We can now go to Siba Overdijk with his investigative report to find out more.
Before moving in at LUC, we all have to sign a contract with Sea Housing. However, as you might have read Tom van Zandvliet's messages, the contract situation was very controversial. First of all, students are unable to move out early. What this means is that if they want to move out right after the academic year, they have to pay 2 months of rent, even if they don't live there anymore. This means that they have to pay 748 euros more than they would have to if they would move out early. What's even more controversial is that Article 8 of the tenancy agreements violates Dutch law by stating that the agreement referred to in Article 7, 271 is not applicable. The article in the Dutch Civil Code states that tenants who are offered a second short stay contract should be offered a contract for an unfixed period. However, the contract of the second years includes a termination date, and therefore the contract violates Dutch law. In addition, Article 9 of the contract states that appeals for change of the entered into tenancy agreement must be considered unacceptable. This means that the university won't accept any appeals, and that appeals can only be successful by going to court. Costing students 748 euros and violating Dutch law, Tom van Zandvliet and I decided to talk to the person responsible for the contract situation at LUC, Michelle in 't Veld. We are joined by Michelle in 't Veld, team leader of Sea Housing Office, and we'll be conducting this interview with Tom van Zandvliet, college counselor.
Tweedejaars is het tweede achtereenvolgende short stay contract met dezelfde partijen, en dat artikel zegt dan in principe tweede short stay contract kan gezien worden als een contract voor onbepaalde tijd, en een contract voor onbepaalde tijd moet altijd een opzegtermijn uitzetten.
Ja. Wij zijn als universiteit geen toegewezen instelling. En dat betekent dat wij in die zin af mogen wijken van dit wetsartikel, omdat wij een contract af mogen sluiten met een bepaalde begindatum en een bepaalde einddatum, zonder dat daar een opzegtermijn aan hoeft vast te zitten.
In artikel 6 van het contract staat dat het contract wordt, in andere woorden natuurlijk, het contract wordt geregeld in accordance to Dutch law. In principe zegt dus de Nederlandse wet met het artikel 7271 dat dat tweede contract een onbepaalde tijdcontract zou moeten zijn en dat er een opzegtermijn aan zou moeten zitten. Is het dan ook according to Dutch law die reden die u dan geeft van wij mogen dit omzeilen, want wij zijn geen...
Precies, wij zijn geen toegewezen instelling, dus dat artikel is niet voor ons van toepassing. Dus in die zin houden we ons nog steeds aan de wet.
Waarom is de universiteit nog geen toegewezen instelling? En wat is dan wel een toegewezen instelling?
Een toegewezen instelling, wat ik eerder al aangaf, is bijvoorbeeld een woningcorporatie. En dat heeft te maken met dat het een sociale instelling is die ook op die manier vanuit bepaalde wet en regelgeving zijn werk moet doen. Wij als universiteit zijn niet een woningcorporatie.
Maar u vervult wel de rol van een woningcorporatie toch?
Ja, alleen het is niet ons bezit.
In artikel 9 van de eerste pagina van de telefoon staat dat er geen aantijgingen mogen worden gemaakt en dat succesvolle aantijgingen dat die niet worden geaccepteerd. Dus stel, dat zou betekenen dat als wij naar de rechtbank zouden gaan met dit contract en die zouden het oordelen dat het niet rechtsgeldig is, betekent dat het dan niet wordt geaccepteerd? Ik vond het een beetje...
Wat we eigenlijk hiermee willen zeggen is dat op het moment dat je daar toch voor in beroep wil gaan, dan zullen wij dat in die zin niet erkennen. Dan is het inderdaad aan een rechtbank om daar een uitspraak over te doen.
In conclusion, SCA Housing's argument for violating the law is that they are not a designated institution. However, the Juridisch Loket has told us that this is not a valid argument, and therefore they have advised us to contact a lawyer. We're still in the process of contacting a lawyer, but this case is definitely not over yet. Fortune TV will continue investigating this matter and we'll keep you up to date. This is Siba Overdijk for Fortune TV. Back to the studio.
Thanks, Siebert and Tom. At Fortune TV, we'll endeavour to keep you updated, but remember, we still need your support to keep putting the pressure to fight out what's happening here. So please let us know what you think in the comments below, and let us know if you'd like to continue doing this. Now, speaking of comments, yes, Christina, I'm sorry I forgot to mention it earlier, but Fortune TV will be running a live stream with a pantomime for all those who did not manage to get a ticket or are on exchange right now. For most of us, though, at least, the heating is still working, thankfully, and judging by the presence of the Oliebollen stand outside, the Dutch winter is well and truly upon us. To find out more about what to expect, we now go to Flo with the weather.
Hello and welcome back after the break. Today here at Fortune TV, we are continuing to look back on the weather from the previous weeks, as it's not even remotely useful to try and predict the Dutch weather, and if granted half the ability, it would only depress all those international students from the more tropical of locations. So, looking back onto the final week of Block 1, many a second year was shocked at the gust of exam-free first years who proceeded to project their excitement up north in rather steady, elevated stages. Beginning down in the south, accompanied by many a crate of beer, like Heineken Drizzle was met with many smiley faces and good humour. In the Midlands of LUC, the drizzle soon turned into a more serious downpour with a surge in temperatures, to which second years had to act fast with storm warnings, in hopes that those causing the havoc would take refuge and calm down the weather. However, as we all know, weather cannot be controlled, and soon the entirety of LUC was hit with the almighty Storm Dean, who showed her concern all over our mailboxes in hope that those...
Floor crawl! Oh, wait, this is a common room. Here, I'm sorry. Back to you, Flo.
Apologies about that. Yeah, in hopes that certain people would soon turn over a new leaf and put an end to such Heineken showers. Breaking news, reports have just come in that there's a flood on 4-6. Yes, there is, and we're experiencing some very real evidence ourselves. Quick, evacuate the building. Remember your precious gala tickets. It's back to you in the studio, Ethan.
Thanks, Flo. Well, you heard it. We better make a move soon. Well, that's all from us from Fortune TV tonight, because we physically have to move before the flood damage hits us as well. So, we'd like to invite you down, as per, to Coasters so that we can have a drink and all aggressively ignore how close our exams actually are. From all of us here at Fortune TV, though, for now, it's good night.